Okay, what's up, everyone? I rewatched Iron Man from 2008 because I didn't like it that much the first time I saw it. I gave it like 5 out of 10. Now, since then, I've seen the other Iron Man movies. I liked the second one more, and I hated the third one. But then, the Captain America 2 and 3 were really good. Infinity War was awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy was very good. The other Avengers movies were pretty good. Yeah, I just wanted to revisit it because it's got a pretty good rating, the original Iron Man. But I still don't like it. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Let's start with the music. The music is awful. Can anyone hum the Iron Man theme? I'll sing the Iron Man theme for you. It's kind of like rock music. Dun 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 dun. It's like the same note 10 times and one other note and then back to the original note. That's it. That's the theme. Dun 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 dun. I hate it. It's awful. It's ridiculous. Like, I think the music was done by Ramin Djawadi or something. He did Game of Thrones, and that's like, it's hard to like. I bet people be like, Game of Thrones has great music. I don't think it does at all, other than the dun, 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 which isn't really a great theme. It's just a few chords. Dun, 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 dun. It's not a nice melody. It's not really a melody at all. Dun, 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 dun. But you might have positive associations, and then there's the dun, 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 like anyway. And the other parts of the show, there's not really memorable themes. It's got like compared to like John Williams music or even Bernard Herrmann, Elmer Bernstein. I don't know, lots of others. It's not that good at all. But yeah, Iron Man, the music is horrendous, and I remember part of what I hated about it when I first saw it. It's terrible. Let's see. I also don't. I like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's very cool, very funny, and he works as Iron Man. It works, but I I don't really like the character that much. He's kind of up himself, and the tone of the movie is so inconsistent. Near the start, it's kind of like he's kind of joking around. That's fine, and then they get attacked and these soldiers get killed. But his Iron Man, his Tony Stark's attitude is so flippant for a lot of it. You kind of sense he's a little bit scared, maybe. There is that scientist guy that helps him. I kind of liked that part, and the guy sacrifices himself, but that's where it's so stupid. He's just able in the Middle East, in the middle of nowhere, to make this fancy thing. And the idea that he needs like an electromagnet to prevent some shrapnel from getting to his heart or something, I don't fully follow. Now, I get it. It's just a movie. You just accept it. But except the tone was serious. That doesn't match. You have to either be the X-Men movies, I think, had this same problem where they were too serious, and yet the concepts are so ridiculously stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Evolution doesn't make people just suddenly have mutations that they can control the weather, you know. And it also seems flippant in terms of he wasn't careful. He just kind of goes out in this suit and starts shooting people and kind of shoots his tank and walks away without looking like, yeah, so cool. And it's like, wait, hang on, is this... And then there's a part where there's a kid, like some innocent people that are going to get killed by terrorists. And it's like, wait, is this serious or not? I don't get it. Where's the consistency? And then he just kind of looks at some of them and something programs and just shoots the bad guys. And are we meant to like laugh at that or cheer or just be like, oh, thank God? Like, I really don't get it. And then there's other parts where he just doesn't test the equipment properly. Like he'll just fly up really, really high until he freezes and then falls, and then just barely gets control again before he hits the ground. And there's another part, I forget how, but he just smashes into the ground and you would die. Like, you would die. I don't care what the thing around you is made of. The impact, the shock, the jolt will kill you. You know, just think of like dodgem cars. Like, that can be fun, but even when you get just a little bump on those things, it can be like, whoa, a bit of a jolt. You know, if it's unexpected, potentially it could be a bit unpleasant. Times that by 1,000 or 10,000, your body's done. You can't survive that. You know, like when you see the people with the G-forces of 3 or 4 or 5 or something, and they'll black out. They can't handle it, right? The G-forces when you smash the ground. But anyway, there's no consistency. I mean, this happens with a lot of movies anyway. I also found that villain in the Middle East, whoever those guys were, really underwhelming, like as bad guys. They didn't seem cool at all. No memorable music, again, for villains, and the other thing is this movie came out the same year as The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight is so incredibly, awesome. I should do a video on that, but the acting, the action, and the tone is consistent. The Dark Knight has plenty of comedy, plenty of humor, but for the most part, it's very dark and serious, and the characters are serious. So the situations, they don't joke around, other than the Joker. They're really trying their best to do what they can. All right, whatever. It's hilarious to me that this guy Terrence Howard, I think that's his name, is not in Iron Man 2. I was confused because I was like, isn't Don Cheadle in the other movies? I was like, is it the same black guy? I don't know the character's name. I guess he ends up being War Machine. I was like, I don't know what happened. I've read a bit about it, but I don't know. I'm not going to assume what happened. I also found the main villain, underwhelming. First off, having a villain that is also in a big suit, but a bigger one, and just the idea that these people could, Iron Man can just fly around and do all this crazy stuff, almost straight away. We only see a very little bit of him testing equipment, and even that stuff is unrealistic. Again, I hate science mumbo jumbo. Just leave it out. There's no point. Because you get these characters that try to sound smart. There's a part where Tony Stark is saying things, and it's to sound smart, but it sounded stupid to me. But even just with the thrust, right? There's a part where where the thrust manages to just keep him off the ground, and then later he applies more thrust, and he's still just floating above the ground. It's like, if you have more thrust than that, you're going to start accelerating up. You're going to speed upwards, but whatever. It's a physics pet peeve, I guess. But yeah, the finale sort of action bit I thought was lame. None of it felt real either. The impacts, it's just CGI, and there's maybe a few real elements, but even that doesn't feel compared to, say, Jurassic Park or Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Those movies are from the early 90s, and this movie's from 2008, and it just doesn't feel as real. It doesn't feel anywhere near as exciting. And it also felt really lame. He tells Pepper Potts to activate something, and I don't even know what it is, an electromagnetic pulse or something, I don't know. And she's like, but won't that kill you? And he's like, just do it anyway. And it's just this cliched dramatic moment that I don't think works at all. It's just a stupid cop-out. And then the idea that at the end he tells everyone, yeah, I'm Iron Man. It just felt really lame, and then boom, that's the end of the movie. It feels like nothing has really changed or been developed really in the course of the movie. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. I didn't like it much. 5 out of 10. It's mediocre, terrible music. Tone is inconsistent. Characters are okay. There's some funny moments. Robert Downey Jr. is cool, but otherwise, not much going on. That's the thing. I do prefer the second one, and the third one I hated. The other Marvel movies I think are a lot better. And Iron Man's very cool in the combined movies, like the Avengers 2, Infinity War, that sort of thing. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.